I want to talk about why I think job interviews are kind of a joke. Just for context, I work as a graphic designer and I was made redundant like 9 months ago. And luckily I was able to get like a gig as a contractor, as a designer for an association, and been working since November as a contractor. I was working in Iceland you have to work sometimes 3 months after you get laid off. That's just how the rules are. So you get 3 months after you are made redundant, but it's pretty, it's kind of strange to having to work 3 months in a workplace that you have been laid off, but whatever, this is how it is in Iceland. But yeah, and 1 month in, it was like in December, one of my colleagues pointed me out that there was this ad agency hiring, and I was actually kind of like satisfied, or like, because I'm working much less as a contractor, and I kind of like the job I'm in, but there is no security working as a contractor. If you lose the contract, then you basically have no security net, yeah, and there's nothing to grab you. You're just on your own, and there are no benefits. You have to take care of all the stuff yourself, and like paying taxes and bookkeeping and making sure that you have money saved for summer vacations and sick days. So I mean, I always have an eye on job openings, even though I don't think that having a job is in any means like a secure thing, but you can make the argument that jobs are more secure than working as a contractor, especially in Iceland. So to make a long story short, I decided to go into this interview because I think going into interviews is good. It's a good good to train yourself to go into meetings, to talk to people. You never know what's gonna happen. You're never gonna, I think, lose on going into job interviews. You get more secure talking to people, and Iceland is a small country. Usually you end up seeing somebody or have someone in common. But anyways, so I saw the ad and I sent the email, and I saw the ad and I wanted to apply, but I wanted to update my portfolio and I was too slow to get things done, and I missed the deadline. So there was like a week in deadline and you had to apply for this certain date. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I mean, there's going to be more opportunities, but then I saw that they prolonged the deadline, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to try to finish my portfolio and apply again. And I didn't make it. There's just so much stuff to do when you have a home with a family and you have a job. So I was like, I missed the deadline again. And so I was like, whatever. But then I saw that they put the ad for the third time. And I was like, okay, so they must have a hard time getting a graphic designer for this ad agency, right? And so I just decided to use my portfolio like it was, and because there's a lot of work putting in new stuff. I did manage to get some new work into my portfolio, so I decided to send it like it was at that time, and I just sent an email. Now the thing is, in Iceland a lot of companies use this special website. I'm not gonna, it doesn't matter what website it is, but everybody uses it, and basically it makes it very easy for employees to search for a job and companies to advertise. And the thing is, I sent an email direct to the company and I didn't use the web page. But strangely enough, she answered or the person answered almost right away. And like 2 hours later, I'm like, can you come and see us tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And this was in December. And I decided to, we decided to meet and on a Monday morning. And when I went there, I was like, I'm just gonna go. And how I look at job interviews is like, it's not, it's a two-way street, you know. Employees are also going to the interviews to see, you know, is this a company a good fit for me? But a lot of companies don't look at it that way. So I mean, I ended the interview because I was not being very, you know, I had a job and I was not desperate for a job. And I wasn't even sure I wanted to work in that workplace. But I had, you know, gone online, checked out their portfolio, who the clients were, who was working there, and actually found out that there were people working there that I knew from school. So I was like, yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, it never hurts to see what's in the package, right? And so in the interview, you know, there's like this basic chit chat all the time, and like, yeah, so, you know, what are your hobbies and la la la. And you know, the funny thing is, like, they didn't ask me so much about my work or, you know, what I had done. They, you know, they asked me, you know, where you were working before, and I just decided to be honest. I was like, look, I was there 3 years, you know, the clients never complained, my workmates never complained, my bosses never complained, but I was laid off or made redundant because of, you know, the jobs were drying up, the economy is, you know, not in a good shape right now, and they had to save money, but that was the official explanation. But, you know, how do you ever know the real reason? You never know the real reason. It could be something else, and they're never gonna tell you. And I just said, like, look, I am a contractor right now. I mean, I wanted to see, you know, what you were offering, and like, I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, I just told them, look, and being honest, that can be a good thing and a bad thing, because the companies really want to see you really want this job. You know, they want somebody who like crawls for this job, and they want somebody that they see is going to be a good fit for the company, doesn't make any trouble, and is just going to follow orders. And I understand that up to, you know, a certain point. I mean, you want, if I was having a company, I would like something like that. But in this, at the same time, I mean, I just told them, look, because, yeah, I'm looking for the right way to say this, but sometimes being direct can get people like, what is the word? Sometimes, you know, people like when you're direct with them. They like that you have some kind of, you know, sass or independence, or they want to see that, you know, you have opinions. Some people like that, but some people don't like that. And I just told them, look, I don't know if I want to work here. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to find out if I want to work here. And you could just see on their expressions, like, yeah, okay. I could just see it that, you know, I wasn't going to get the job. They didn't say anything, but you know, you can see when people are a little taken back. And I was like, yeah, but, you know, I mean, I'm happy where I am now, but, you know, I want to see what's going on. And I don't think that's what everybody likes. Some people maybe like these things, but I would recommend that you don't do this in an interview, because it might work, but in the majority of cases, I don't think this is a good thing. But I just decided to go with it because inside I wasn't really sure that I wanted to work there. So sometimes it's just, you know, I just decided to let it rip, you know. And yeah, and yeah, that's the thing. They never tell you the salaries. You know, what is the one of the biggest reasons you want to go to work somewhere? I mean, the main reason is that you need money, right? You need the money. It's like, if that's the reason people are searching for jobs. Many people search for a job because they want a raise, but maybe they're also bored in the workplace. But I would say, like, you know, the money is probably one of the biggest factor. So yeah, and point I wanted to make with this video is like, yeah, so they kind of wanted to get me to know as a person, but we didn't talk that much about design or like you know, my work. And the interview went well, I would say, excluding this, but in general I would say it went pretty well, and I managed to go through it without being like awkward or saying something stupid in that sense. And you know, I was polite, and you know, it's very important that you know when to shut up and let the other person talk. They really like, you know, if you do that. So do pauses, and when it's your time to talk, then, you know, state your opinion. But yeah, so the interview went well, and I was like, yeah, okay. Then I was feeling okay with myself. I thought it went well. That's what I thought. So they said, like, yeah, we will be in touch with you in the end of the week. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then the week passed and nothing happened. And my colleague said, like, yeah, have you heard anything from the ad agency? And I was like, no, nothing. There's just nada. And then the next week came, and the next day, and the next day, and finally it was 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, so I guess I didn't get the job. But I found it very strange, because in Iceland, you know, people usually always answer. Usually, today, before 10 years, 20, you might not get a response. But today, I mean, it's very unpolite if you don't answer people, especially if they have had an interview. That's just crazy. So what I managed to understand is that I came to the understanding that because I sent a direct email to them and got a reply from the CEO, what they did is they hired somebody else, and then they just did like in the web page or app, you can just do like a, you know, like a standard default reply to everybody. I'm sorry, we really liked, you know, but we decided to go another route this time, but we will, you know, have your review, have your application in case something opens up. And because I didn't apply through the web page, I didn't get this email. So even though I was there talking to them and I sent an email, you know, nothing. And I was kind of disappointed, in my opinion. But the funny thing is, like 3 or 4 months later, I saw the same ad from the same company, like advertising the same position. And I said to my colleague, there's no way, like, I don't believe that they are adding another designer in this economy. It's just, I don't buy it. So I was like, did they hire the wrong person? I don't know. But I found that kind of interesting, but you know, I decided I'm not gonna apply again, that's for sure. I mean, and they probably didn't want to go with me anyway, and they found out that I was probably not a good fit for the company, and that's okay. So yeah, thank you. I just wanted to share this, and tell me what you think.